Welcome to the Unwritten PhD. I'm Dr. Kshitij Tiwari, and this podcast is a guide to the messy, human side of a doctoral degree that no one ever puts in a textbook.
Alright, let's dive into a topic that often sparks lively and sometimes heated debates in PhD corridors: the monograph versus the sandwich thesis. If you've been scrolling through academic Twitter, attending departmental seminars, or just commiserating with fellow grad students at 3 am over coffee, you have probably heard these terms thrown around. It's not just academic jargon, it is a fundamental decision that can shape your PhD journey, how you approach your research, and even your future career trajectory. Understanding the nuances between these two structures isn't just about picking a format, it's about strategizing your entire doctoral process. This episode is designed to equip you with the insights you need to make an informed decision, or at least better understand the conversation around you. We'll explore what each format entails, their distinct advantages and disadvantages, and perhaps most importantly, how to assess which one aligns best with your research, your discipline, and your personal goals. So, whether you're just starting your PhD, halfway through, or even contemplating what comes next, stick around. This is going to be crucial for setting yourself up for success in your doctoral studies and beyond. Let's start with the classic, the monograph thesis. This is what most people picture when they think of a PhD dissertation. It's a single comprehensive volume, typically unified by a central argument or theme, presenting original research in a coherent book-length narrative. Think of it as a book manuscript in its embryonic form. The chapters flow logically, an introduction setting the scene, a literature review placing your work within existing scholarship, methodology detailing how you conducted your research, several core empirical or theoretical chapters presenting your findings and analysis, and a concluding chapter summarizing your contributions and outlining future directions. The beauty of the monograph lies in its narrative coherence. It allows for deep, sustained argumentation and the development of a complex, overarching thesis. You have the space to delve into intricate details, explore nuances, and craft a compelling, continuous story of your research journey. For disciplines where the single authored book is the primary vehicle for scholarly contribution, like many humanities and some social sciences, the monograph is often the gold standard. It demonstrates your ability to conceive, execute, and articulate a large scale research project independently, showcasing a depth of thought that can be harder to convey in discrete papers. However, the monograph also comes with its own set of challenges. The sheer scale can be daunting. Maintaining a consistent voice and argument across hundreds of pages requires meticulous planning and sustained effort. There's also the pressure to make every chapter contribute meaningfully to the overarching narrative, which can sometimes feel restrictive. Perhaps the biggest drawback, particularly in today's academic landscape, is the time to publication factor. A completed monograph thesis often requires significant revision and expansion before it can be published as a book, a process that can take years post PhD. So, while it offers a profound intellectual journey, its immediate impact on your publication record might be delayed. Now, let's shift our focus to the sandwich thesis, also known as thesis by publication or article based dissertation. This format has gained significant traction, especially in the STEM fields, but it is increasingly permeating other disciplines as well. A sandwich thesis typically consists of an introductory chapter, self contained research chapters, usually 3 to 5, though this varies, and a concluding chapter. These papers are often already published, submitted, or in a publishable state, sometimes with co authors. The primary advantage of the sandwich thesis is obvious: publications. By structuring your PhD around journal articles, you're building your publication record even before you graduate. This can be a huge boost for postdoc applications, faculty positions, and grant applications where demonstrated research output is paramount. Each paper benefits from peer review, which strengthens the quality of your work and provides invaluable feedback. It also breaks down the monumental task of thesis writing into smaller, more manageable chunks, which can be less overwhelming psychologically. Furthermore, it often reflects a more collaborative research environment as many journal articles are co authored. However, the sandwich thesis isn't without its complexities. The major challenge is ensuring coherence. While each paper is a standalone contribution, the thesis as a whole still needs to present a unified body of work. Your introductory and concluding chapters become crucial here for the unification process. They need to weave together the disparate threads of your paper into a cohesive narrative, highlighting the overarching research question, methodology, and intellectual contribution. There can also be issues with authorship, particularly if some papers are co authored. You'll need clear guidelines from your university and your advisor on how to attribute contributions. Some institutions require a statement from co authors detailing your specific role in each paper. And finally, managing multiple projects simultaneously, each with its own submission deadline and peer review cycles, can be incredibly demanding. So, how do you decide which path is right for you? It's not a one size fits all answer, and several factors come into play here. First, consider your discipline. In fields like history, literature, or certain areas of philosophy, the monograph is often the expected format. It's how scholarly contributions are traditionally made and assessed. In contrast, disciplines like biology, chemistry, engineering, and many social sciences, particularly those emphasizing quantitative methods, strongly favor the sandwich thesis due to the premium placed on journal publications for career progression. Second, think about your research project itself. Does your research naturally lend itself to a single continuous narrative, or can it be broken down into distinct publishable components? Sometimes a project might start with the monograph in mind but evolve into a sandwich thesis as discrete findings emerge. Conversely, a seemingly modular project might reveal underlying connections that are best explored in a unified narrative. Third, when in doubt, always consult your advisor and department. Their guidance is invaluable. Supervisors often have strong preferences or departmental norms that can heavily influence your decision. Some departments might even have regulations dictating the acceptable formats. Have an open conversation about expectations, timelines, and the advantages each format offers for your specific research and career goals. Finally, consider your career aspirations. If you're aiming for a tenure track position in a field that values books, a monograph might be a strategic choice, even if it delays publications. If your goal is primarily to secure a postdoc or industrial position where grants and article output are key metrics, then a sandwich thesis format could be more beneficial. Ultimately, both formats have their merits and their challenges. There is no inherently better option. There's only the option that's better for you, for your research, and for your future. The key is to make an informed decision, understanding the implications of each choice. Don't let yourself be swayed simply by what your peers are doing or what seems easier in the short term. Reflect deeply on the kind of academic work you want to produce and the career path you envision. I want to encourage you to not just listen to this advice but to actively engage with it. Talk to advanced PhD scholars in your program, ask current faculty about their expectations, their experiences, and critically evaluate the norms in your specific field. Use this episode as a springboard for those crucial conversations. The decisions you make about your thesis format is a significant one, and taking the time to thoroughly explore your options will serve you incredibly well throughout your PhD and beyond. Thank you for tuning in to the Unwritten PhD podcast. Remember, your research journey is unique, and so should be your approach to navigating it. Take care, and I'll see you again in another episode.
If you are a current or aspiring PhD scholar or a beginner in the world of robotics, make sure you hit that subscribe button and follow this podcast diligently. You won't want to miss what we have in store for you. This has been the Unwritten PhD. See you in another episode.